Jessica. Hey, girl. Call me.
How's it going?
And I think you did. You called me. I picked up. Now
And here
we're
we are.
3 years in and we have a damn podcast. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Right.
Well, hello to our listeners and not hell to you, not hell to the nah. Hell, hello to you, Jessica. How are you?
Wow. Doing well. When you started off singing, I couldn't help myself but be reminded of the
Oh, no.
women's. Well, I always want to talk about sports. Women's professional baseball
Yes.
had their inaugural game, and
No.
Martha Reeves, Motown. Your singing reminded me of Martha Reeves, Motown
Okay.
legend.
I just want to, before you actually go into the story, there is nothing that can compare my vocals, even though I'm not Martha Reeves. My vocals are a little bit better than
Listen,
what happened.
she
What
actually,
happened?
she wasn't terribly off tone as much as she was. It was the background singers that they clearly compromised and said, look, we're going to get these
Country
hometown country heroes,
vocals.
and they're going to be your backup. So she clearly was thrown by them, because you can watch her start. For those of you who don't know, Martha Reeves was singing the national anthem at this inaugural game. And clearly it was
I'm so
it wasn't
mad.
a group that was hired to do it. It was these two backup singers and her. And it is rough would be an understatement.
And what I love is that you're blaming the background singer, or you're saying that she was thrown off. She was so off key,
No, she
Jessica.
was off key, but she wasn't she was
it was,
off. Don't get me wrong.
girl,
She was off. She
and
was
I'm mad.
off key, but the key she was in, it wasn't like she was a bad singer. It wasn't like she lost her voice. It was just she couldn't find her key. And then she was looking to those two sisters to help rescue her, and there was
They weren't
nobody
sisters,
coming.
no. They
There
weren't
was no one
helping.
coming to rescue.
What I felt bad about is here is the first time we've ever had a professional baseball team. And I'm not saying Martha was a bad choice, but I'm like,
Well, she's probably, what town was this in? I didn't see the store. I didn't see like what town this was in. Is she just from that town or something? Like, I don't think they
could
just
have,
picked her
I
randomly.
mean,
It's not like she
come
has any
on.
new hits, right?
Okay, Jennifer Hudson could have came out of the interview.
They don't
whatever.
have Jennifer Hudson coins, please, or Jennifer Hudson eyes. No one's watching it like that. Like,
Yeah.
God bless them. I'm happy, but
blessings to Martha. But we don't want to be negative. I will say one thing. We got a little bit of heat for our on certain socials for our Vivica.
Oh, for Vivica. Oh, I thought you were going to say the W post.
No. For our Vivica post, for those who said we are tearing down Black women and they are not sure why we are in their algorithm, since this is not what they deal. I was clear with this.
How many comments was this? One comment?
No, it was, we had like 6 negative comments on this post, but it was a TikTok post, but they tend to go, we got lots of comments, by the way, from people who were like so excited about your post about going to Alabama. When I say we went viral on that post, that was amazing. So many, like 70 people commenting about how much they love that place. I love that. But then we posted a Vivica, not we, the royal we would be me.
You posted it, and it was your hot take. It was your discovery, your hot take. Now you know how I feel about that when I got that Yukon post.
I was like, HSN, they were like, just let us just, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I was like, okay,
you said like 30 seconds in, you said you were probably going to buy it. So it wasn't like you were going so hardcore on shade.
No. I never said I was buying it. What I said
you'll
was,
probably see me in it. You said, I'm wearing a jumpsuit right now. You probably will see me. Girl,
I said the jumpsuits weren't bad.
I was coming to your rescue right now. I'm saying you didn't trash it. Like you were throwing shade initially, but then you came back and like softened the shade and were like, look, I probably will buy it.
And I gave her shine. I was like, sis is out there doing the work
Right.
and getting her coins. So anyway, I will move forward. I think I will say one thing that sort of stood out for both of us this week was the Forbes highest paid podcast hosts. That really, I don't know, put a bun in my bonnet or something. I was super annoyed.
Bee in your bonnet.
A bee in my bonnet. I was super annoyed because girl
As we're
call
both
us.
looking to be the highest paid on any highest paid list.
I mean, I will give Joe what Button or whatever his name is in Charlemagne the God.
Look, we're not surprised that there are no Black women, or actually women of color. Like, I think the highest woman of color is like, what, like 19, something like that, maybe.
I even
Now,
think
I
that,
will
yeah.
say, Armchair, they shade Monica Padman every time, because Armchair Expert, that's Dak Shepard's podcast, she's
Mm-hmm.
just as equally part of that podcast as he is. They're doing her
Right.
dirty every
By
time they
being
don't include her. And she's an Indian
right.
woman. So she's actually the highest ranking woman of color who actually has a role. They just refuse to put her, I guess,
On anything.
her on anything. But yeah, it, I'm not making any just in light of what you just said about the Vivica thing. I'm not making any comments about Charlemagne or Joe Budden. God bless them. Thanks for helping the culture, but also there's some Black women. Where's Kiki? Where's
I
Michelle?
mean, I would say Kiki, where's Michelle? This is not just the first year this has happened. So this is consecutive years in which there has not been
Yeah,
a woman of color of any kind in the top 10, top 15,
yeah.
top 20.
It should tell you everything you need to tell. I mean, both Kiki and like Flotus are pulling huge guests.
Number.
I mean, they're pulling billionaires. So the idea that they don't deserve, again, we're not talking about viewership or listenership
No,
here. We're talking about money.
points.
So the idea
Right.
that they don't deserve to be paid as much as some bum like Joe Rogan, you can't tell me that they don't deserve coin. Michelle Obama is a Netflix executive producer. Like,
Right.
what?
And then have you seen those commercials that they're forced to do? I'm like, this is clearly they're not
Yeah.
getting the support they need. But
No.
listen, Joe, Charlemagne, listen, I mean, it's great to have, two Black men in the top 15, but there's a missing element there.
Right. Right. Well, you know, I digress. Um, uh, Shout out to Black Barbie. We didn't talk about this on All-Star Weekend,
We
because
didn't.
there's so much other stuff happening. But Barbie released their Angel Reese
Yeah.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Angels goes by, her nickname used to be the Bayou Barbie, but I think now you could just call her Barbie because she's got one. So she's like, don't
Right.
put a descriptor on my name. I'm just
Right.
Barbie.
Don't put a geography. Let
Right.
me just be everywhere. I'm Barbie everywhere.
Shout out to her. Sorry that the Black Barbie game happened and the Aces had to beat them by 20 that night. But other than that, shout out to the Barbie. Hope it won't impact sales. We'll be fine. I'm
I'm
gonna buy
sure
one for somebody.
I have a feeling that she's not going to be hurting because I think she's good. I have a
She's good.
feeling.
She's good.
And, I think it is that time, Jessica, for us to really acknowledge that it is August. It is actually the most important month in the calendar year. As a August Leo myself, because this was coming. I think you've been waiting in anticipation for me to finally say it's Leo season. And
You
you're
would
not
think
waiting.
that I would be waiting for that because you are an August Leo. So you would think that I was
A
waiting,
true
and the
August Leo
true
will
August
think that.
Leo assumes that everyone else is holding their breath for what the August Leo would call the best time of year.
And the most important thing, whatever the August Leo, you're holding on to that most important thing. So Halle
Hmm.
Berry, just want to give her.
And the
If
wait, just
you
for clarity, and the holding on to the most important thing, and the most important thing is you. Is that what it is
us,
with the August Leo?
I want to say us,
Oh,
us.
it's not just you. This isn't
It's not
about
just
me.
me. It's
This
not
is
just a
about
me thought.
everyone who's like me.
Right. I mean, I
Congratulations for August.
August is a beautiful month, but I will say there is also some beauty happening. Halle Berry, Her birthday, I think, is coming up, and it's been great to see.
What was that
Hallie's
lip
gone.
gloss she was pushing?
I'm
Was
not
that a
sure, but all
menopause?
I know is she was
Um,
also pushing beauty and black love and
oh,
joy on her vacation. She was
oh.
also, I think, just pushing
I saw her
happiness.
pushing very clear, like very specifically a lip gloss that had to do with menopause. I
She does,
couldn't make
she
the
has some
connection.
products out there. She has some products. She has been an advocate for women entering menopause
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
that
No, again, I'm
journey.
just wondering what
I'm gonna have to
the
look at that.
connection between the
I'm
lip
gonna have to look
gloss.
it up. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I will say she's turning 60 and fabulous, fabulous. I mean, come on. And then you got, Barack, our favorite, dad jeans, and
His
president.
dad jeans. I'm gonna be honest with you.
They were a little
Those
tight. They were a little really tight.
those were
Did
very dad. Those were pop up. Those are pop jeans. Papa jeans.
you say pop?
Those weren't just like dad jeans because that would suggest like a 35-year-old. Those were like Papa Barack jeans.
I was like, and it was just, it fitted. It didn't fit. It didn't have the fit
It
it
didn't
needed
fit
to have.
because Michelle is like Benjamin buttoning. She's going backwards in age. Like she's
She's
looking
trying. Listen,
hipper and hipper and hipper. And those
yes,
jeans made him he looked
like he
I mean,
reads the Wall Street Journal every
right, right. Look,
and he does. Probably
good
does.
look. Go
But
for it.
I will say, celebrating him and his dad jeans, or whatever you say, pop jeans, it's even
Okay.
worse. Meghan Markle, we always give honorable mention to Whitney and so many
You
leaders.
blew right past Megan. Come on, give her some shine. Princess,
Megan's
are we allowed to call her
Megan's
that
had,
anymore?
I think she's had a rough
Ms.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but blessings. But the Duchess. But
The
I just
Duchess, yes.
want to,
I was like,
yeah,
Princess? No,
the
Duchess,
no,
right.
the Duchess. The
Right.
Duchess. But yeah, just to all the Leos out there who are having an
Keep
incredible
shining
year.
keep shining your light on you.
Shining. And keep shining and keep reminding people because they seem to
See,
forget.
you don't even like catch my subtle shade to
I
you.
don't even care. I mean, I'll give you a quarter, a dollar. The shade can come through. That's the beauty of us. We don't care.
Some say
We don't care.
beauty, some say um
Anyway,
congratulations. Again, congratulations on August. It's the next.
no, I won't want to say. My wife will be listening to this episode at some point. She always listens. And she'll be very annoyed because she has been asking what I want to do for my birthday for literally a month and a half. I will
I'm aware.
say, okay, okay. And so I think this weekend she forced me to sit down and like think about it. I will say it's hard. I think I will say that's the other thing with Leos. We're just like, just do it and hopefully surprise us and let us know.
And
Let
then
us
I'll
know where
let
to
you
be.
know if it's not good enough.
We will. So, I mean, yes, I have
I don't know
probably
I
one.
don't know why she feels pressure. I don't know why she's asking. I mean, there's just if at the end of the day you know you're going to get corrected. I don't know
If
why
you're
she's
a
not
Leo
just.
out there, comment. I may clip this. If you're comment, because I don't think I'm alone in this, that we are a little bit when it comes to our
You're
birthday.
definitely not alone in it. And like this is what I'm saying, you're not alone in it. You're like, I don't know, we don't know what to do, but then you also do have strong feelings that will come up. So you're wondering why people are taking their time and asking you questions, but also if they just threw something together, that wouldn't really be enough for you either.
Throw something together.
Exactly.
Wow. You know,
So
this is a
blessings.
good blessings to my wife.
Blessings to anyone
Blessings
who's
to
married.
all.
So you said shout out to Leos. I'm going to say blessings to uh, spouses of Leos. Shout out. Who are out here planning parties, trying to just trying to do the good work and keep a Leo happy.
Blessings to you.
I
Keep
will say,
trying.
I will say, I'm going to give a shout out to one of my favorite Leos, who is a listener and one of my longtime best friends. And when I tell you that when she's a July Leo, but when her
Ooh, they're
birthday is
different.
even within smelling distance, her husband has an email out to everyone with her on CC with a fully shaped email. We all joke about how like you can feel her copy editing in there. So shout out to you. Shout out to you,
Send it.
my July Leo um, non,
I mean,
you know, non-perfectionist, just, the person who just lets things flow.
listen, I'm not sure that's that, but I will
It's
say,
not.
Jen,
Again,
I'm being facetious.
that's layered with sarcasm.
I will say Jen might need a copy of that email for now. Just
Oh, I can send the past 10, 15 years, 20 years
maybe,
probably.
wow, 10 to 15 years. See, and he's got it down. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I would probably copy edit myself. Thank you so much. But we're talking about seasons.
You want to go into Virgo season or no? You're not ready for that. The baton pass.
Are you crazy?
Just
We
saying.
will go to Virgo season, Jessica, Virgo, when it's time.
Strong Virgo.
And it's not time.
Okay.
Don't you have a Leo rising or something? Isn't there something
Girl,
Leo in?
no. Never that. No.
Okay. Well,
All earth signs. Remember we went over this before. All
right.
earth
I'm
signs.
I'm fire and
And
all
I got my
things.
two goddaughters, both Virgos, though one of my goddaughters is an August Virgo and the other is a September, but my August Virgo kind of put her nose up at a September Virgo this this week when we were talking about it. Shout out.
Hmm.
Her mother listens. She was like, September Virgo. And I was like, what are you trying to say? She goes, no, I'm just saying that's not me. You're fine, but that's just not who I am. I was like, okay, look, live your life. Virgos
Okay.
are a Virgo. Anyway,
Virgos are, yeah, special people.
on that note of being amazing. No, actually, talking about podcasts, we were talking about a clip was going around. I don't know if you saw it. We talked about Oprah and Kiki's interview and how
Yeah.
much we loved it. And Kiki asks Oprah in the very end when she does her rapid fire question, she said, would
Mm.
you want to be 30 again?
Ooh,
And
yes, I remember that.
Oprah quickly quips and says, no, she wouldn't, but she would love to be 44 again. And Kiki asked her why 44, and she said, because you've come into yourself in a way that you're
Mm.
no longer trying to please others. And she said,
Mm.
44 is where I locked in and I could see the rising for myself. I was in full drive, purposeful living for myself. And I, as a 42 and rising, soon to be 43-year-old, was so inspired by this, so excited about this, seeing that the best is just on the horizon.
Yet to
But
come, Jessica. Yet to come.
but I loved her. I loved her talking about that. I mean, I think it's not like totally novel. Women often talk about kind of
Yeah.
finding their pace. But I loved how she said this, she could see the
Mm.
rising for herself. That
Mm.
that just
That's
spoke to me in
beautiful.
a way that was like so beautiful. And I know it's something we've been talking
Like,
about, and I know we're going to talk
look.
about today, which is kind of this like this the season of your life where you approach it, and it may not have to do with age, but it's just like what is when you're getting older and you're entering this kind of intention. And I think that's what I heard when I heard her talk about rising for myself and this purposeful living, was
Yeah.
really just like this living for intention.
Yeah. And it's funny because I love that hers is 44, but for some people, it could be 30. It could be for, 40. It could be 60. I was thinking, as I was just mentioning about Halle Berry, I think about Kalundra, and her decisions in her career and her pivot to really find her joy. I think she was in her 20s. So I know we've had Kalundra Smith on talk, and she shared about her life journey. But yeah, I think that, you know, whenever season you are in and you feel that pull and you feel that you're like walking into your full self. I don't know if it really matters what the age is. It's about that moment that you feel that.
Yeah, I agree. I think I heard that. I took that comment a different way because I took it as like feeling the pull versus standing in it and
Hmm.
realizing that's where so I took it as because I agree with you. And I also think there is a lot of us feel this like directional pull of like,
Yeah.
you start to see the signs. You start to say like, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to keep going this way. And you keep looking for those moments of affirmation in life. And then I believe that there is like a moment where, and that's where I think depending on your life circumstances too,
Yeah.
not just your biological age, but your circumstances, it's like I'm now not chasing, I'm there, and
Mm,
now I can see so clearly where I need to go. Not I'm there, I'm done, but like now it's all clear. It's not like the map where it's like, I think I'm going this way, I think I'm going this way. It's like,
right.
oh, you hit the clearing and it's like, oh, this is all available to me. I get to
Yeah.
choose all of this. I can choose
Yeah.
how I want to tackle it.
And she did say a little bit about that, right? Like sitting into who you are and
Hmm.
yourself
Yeah.
and not feeling that she had to prove herself in
Yeah.
relationships. She talked about some relationships that were like, woo.
Right.
And running after the car and trying to grabbing the bumper and feeling like that person was the only person.
Right.
Or, maybe it was the show that when she was constantly trying to be better and feeling like she was never going to fill that box that everyone
Hmm.
had for her.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we all enter that, maybe not as Oprah, but in our own way when we stop thinking about the things we need to chase and start sitting in to ourselves and go, huh, it's almost that it is almost an exhale
Yeah.
that you sort of sit into it and define success for yourself, wherever that is, and define joy, define relationships, define things that make you happy in many different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to sound like too deep, but I was on a hike once and I was hiking
Mhm.
and I kept being like, it's what my accomplishment, my goal is what's right in front of me, right? To get to the
Mm.
top of this mountain.
Right.
That's what I was like, okay, we're right, going to this peak. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. And like looking down at my feet, looking straight ahead. And then I hit the end and it was a clearing, like a physical clearing. And I had this moment where I thought to myself, success could have been just getting to the thing, but the piece of the expansiveness of the next steps, the clearing, I felt it in my body in a way. I can't really explain it, but my friend who was going through something, I just kept
Mm.
saying to them, get to the clearing, get to the clearing. It's
Get
not
to the
because
clearing.
one step in front of the other is helpful in some situations, don't get me
Get to
wrong.
the
But to
clearing.
me, it kept being like, it's the step beyond that. It's like, get,
Mm.
get to that clearing, get to that point where then you can breathe and you have options. And I think for me,
Oh
that's
my
like,
God, I love that. That's
yeah,
almost a t-shirt. That's almost a hat. That's almost everything I love goes
almost.
in a
It's
sticky or a
almost, but it's
t-shirt.
not.
No, it's like get to the no, I think it's a mantra. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, totally.
it is a like get to the clearing.
Yeah,
If you can, and I think that counts for everything, right?
yeah,
If you can just get past the
yeah,
fog, the brush,
yeah,
whatever it is,
right.
you can honestly, it's like you're driving through a foggy street or a foggy
Hmm.
road, right? You're
Right.
finally going to get to a place in which you can see, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it
totally.
takes some adjustments,
And white
but
knuckling it through it and doing all the things
the
that feel
fear,
uncomfortable.
right. But you can
Right.
get through that. I feel like we can end the podcast. Girl, everyone who's listening, just
Send
get
me a
through it.
check. Girl, send me a check. Put me
Girl,
on that
I
highest
feel like
paid.
that's on a journal somewhere.
Yeah, Mel Robbins. What's hers? Let it go or let something
No, I
go,
don't know.
whatever. Ours is
Yeah,
get to the clearing. No,
get
I
to the clearing.
yeah, I think it's because I think, and maybe this is connected to a lot of what you and I have talked about before of like there's parts of your life that can feel like a rat race and you
Mm,
don't actually
wow.
know, right? Not to be like so heavy in metaphors, but like the hamster wheel thing,
Mm,
right? Where you feel like you don't have an option to not move. And sometimes this is just life and circumstances. You don't have an option to stay still. You got to keep moving. And
yeah.
that's a time in life, right? And it's like, then there's times in life that are like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going to start moving and hoping
Yeah.
that there's something out there. And I think that when you're able to take a breath and you have options, to me, that is
Exactly.
actually that's the I mean, that's the privileged piece when you have the options and you're in a space where you can choose. Because a lot of us
Yeah.
earlier in life or other things, like you don't have choice. You could be
Right.
like, girl, I've been at the clearing and like good news. It's on fire everywhere else and I gotta go one direction.
Not
Like
the fire at the clearing, Lord, no.
yeah, sorry. There's a lot of yeah, sorry for our Pacific Northwest. That's probably touches
Yes, yeah,
too
but yes, for
close to
those
home.
thinking about you. I've often recently thought about the Ferris wheel, and not another metaphor,
Mm.
but I do think there's something about the Ferris wheel that I think sometimes if you're in a circular motion and feel like you can't get to the point of anything, I think if you open your eyes on that Ferris wheel, there is beauty there. And I think
Mm.
if you sit on that Ferris wheel and figure out the lessons that you're learning at each
Yeah.
stop, you'll
That's
eventually get off.
the Ferris wheel is a much better metaphor than a hamster wheel because that a hamster just feels like that's what I was using. And that's just like, like you're just,
There's nothing pretty
no.
about a Ferris
Although,
wheel.
although hamster
What?
wheels are there for a reason, like the hamsters enjoy them and like staying productive. So, but yes, you're right because the hamster wheel is like you're running around doing productivity for no sense. But yeah, the Ferris wheel, I don't
Right.
know, you
The
always
Ferris
get
wheel.
Ferris wheel is not the no. I'm confusing merry-go-round. Ferris wheel's up.
No, merry-go-round. And there's nothing. I mean, it's really. I find them
You're about to throw
useless.
up, honestly. I feel the
I
nauseous.
feel like
I
them.
find them
Yeah. I mean, but what? I mean, so thinking about this and thinking about, we'll get off the metaphors for our listeners.
no, no. I'm sticking in. I'm hanging on all episode.
We're hanging
I'm gonna
them
keep
all of
throwing them
it.
at you. Yeah,
Get through the brush, y'all.
right.
What is something that used to matter that doesn't anymore?
Um, I would say worried that I'm not going to be rewarded for
Mm,
my achievement or my
yeah.
work. I feel like I
Yeah.
have confidence now that in myself and in my ability that I don't really not that I don't have imposter syndrome, but I'm not as worried about like being looked over as I was because I'll make room for myself. I didn't have that energy before. Like
Right.
it's not like I'm not worried. I'm not thinking people are looking over me. No, that's not the case. It's more of like I'll keep moving or I'll push through something or I'll make you
Right.
see me. Like I didn't have that
Right.
energy. It was more
Yeah.
like what do people think of me? I very rarely think about what people think of me like I did
That
then.
is such a blessing.
Yeah.
You got to sit with that because actually, I mean, most people are like sitting in a constant state of worry about, I was one of them. I probably am still sitting and thinking. I think there's
If
moments
I
that I
like you,
worry and then, huh? What?
if I like you, that's what you're
No,
sitting and
I'm not
worrying.
worried about you. Not today, but maybe last week. There's moments, not today. But no, I think there's times even my own like best friend of 40 years. We keep saying 30. We said 30 for the last 40, but because I think it's the age thing. 30 years sounds
Well,
much
it's
better
not
than like.
40 years, is it?
I don't think it's 40. I was
No,
okay. I was 19.
you're only
I met
53,
her.
aren't
No,
you?
no, I met her when I was 19. So we're still sitting in that.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
girl, you're 25.
Thank you.
Mhm.
But I worry about, I think I constantly, I'd probably have less stomach aches and less headaches if I stopped worrying about what people think.
About you or
And
about a choice you make? Because those are two different things, I think.
no, I think my choices, I don't feel like I worry as much about my choices.
Okay.
I feel like it's about me.
That's
Like,
funny.
am
I'm the
I doing
total
enough?
opposite.
I'm like, I listen, if you don't like my choices, I'm sorry. I will do it in my time and I will do it the way I like to do it.
Mhm.
That's probably Leo. But you not
Approaching
liking
Leo.
me,
Huh.
that is to me harder. Like me feeling like Yeah. And I think there's moments in which I've kind of let it go. And I think I'm at this age. I don't care what you think about me, but I think that it still creeps up
Hmm.
depending on who that person is. And if I value you, if I
Hmm.
don't value you, I don't really care. But if I value your opinion, yeah, I'm sitting in it and I'm like thinking through, staying up all night, thinking through the conversation and making sure I made the right choices in language.
Wow. Yeah. I think I'm like kind of the exact opposite. I think
As
I'm
usual.
more likely as usual. I'm more likely to get caught up on what if someone making a judgment about a decision I make and
Hmm.
then using that to define my character
Mm.
than I am someone just if someone was just like, "Yeah, I don't mess with her," I'd be like, Girl, like push rocks. Like I could care less."
I am
But
a little.
I think but like if someone then even if it's someone I can't stand or I who I think is low integrity, if they're questioning my decisions because I think I pride myself on decision making. If someone's then
Right.
questioning my decisions, now I'm in a I haven't got
Spiral.
that's a place where I'm working. That's a area of work in progress.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think there's freedom for both of us
Hmm.
if we can let go of one of those because I think why? Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why does it matter how someone spoke or what they said or why are we at this stage
Well, your identity's tied up in
doing
it.
full analysis
Yeah.
on, the conversation and so forth. I think that's somewhere I still need to evolve from.
Yeah. Yeah. I think anything where you're well, speaking for myself, anything where your your identity comes into play and how you see yourself, think of yourself, um what is it? Self-concept and self perception, what other people think
Yeah.
of you. Anytime that comes into play is touching on like core who you are. So I think like that core identity, what do I
Yeah.
value? It's hitting values and beliefs fast. It's like so I think that's probably part of it. But yeah, I think as we've gotten older, you know, I've let go of I've also have very high expectations for people.
Hmm.
And that is something that has I have had to let go over as
Yeah.
I've gotten older. Like I cannot hold people to the expectations that I have, or else I'll be
Okay. I might
at
have
the
had the
clearing
same.
solo because no one will match up to my
You're like, I'm
expectations
rolling to everything deep with me. That's it.
because no one will be there because I have very high expectations.
I think I do too. I, yeah, I probably do.
You
If
have high
you're,
expectations. I would say if you don't, I would say you have high expectations, but you're also the kind of person that um, you're like keep up or get out. I'm like
yeah.
I'm gonna keep like trying to get you, to do something you don't want to do because I see it in you. This like weird
Oh, you're
expectation.
working. You're
And
working. You're actually pull out your tool belt, your tool shed. You're doing the work. You're doing the
like
work.
I'm like, I have these expectations for you
Oh,
because I have high expectations, but trust me, I can help get you there. And then next thing you know, I'm looking at the person like, girl, they are not trying to go. It's like the dog.
this project is a failure. And
It's like
you,
the dog when you like walk a dog sometimes, and they just like lock their legs or like a toddler and they just like lock up. And it's like, I'm
yes,
over
or a
here like,
dog who doesn't want to walk. I will say my dog occasionally will just stop
just lock. Yeah.
and be
Arms,
like,
legs.
and
And they're
you're
like,
fighting against something because isn't it better to just accept people for who they are, where they are in their
right,
space,
right, right.
and not pull the tool belt out, not the shed, but the belt.
Well, that,
These is the
girl,
shed.
not the shed.
The shed.
This is like, but you're right. So Oprah's, for those who didn't hear the Kiki interview, Oprah's thing was about how she was dating someone and she
Yep.
was reflecting on this time where he was like done. He told her they were over and she grabbed the bumper of the car and while he was driving away. And she
Girl,
said,
that was
she's
a
like,
lot.
that was like rock bottom, right? I feel like
Yeah.
my rock bottom is more like someone has done that toddler or that puppy thing where their legs are locked up, and I'm like, no, 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 we're gonna get through you. And everyone else is watching me like drag a leash, being like, the
Right. I was
dog
like,
doesn't want to go, girl. What are you doing? And I'm like, no,
stop.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're gonna have a good walk. They're gonna love it.
So how do you let go? Like when they're stuck, you can either pick them up. That's when the owners will sometimes pick them up
Yeah.
and say, "Okay, you're going,"
Hmm.
or they'll give them a treat.
Right.
What do
Yeah.
you?
Or I'm gonna keep going with the metaphor. Or be like, hey, I'm actually out on taking you on a walk. If you don't want to keep going,
I'm
let's
gone.
turn back. This walk
Right.
ain't for me. Like
Right. I'm trying to get you to potty.
that's what I'm now learning to do. It's like, okay, you don't want to keep going? Bet. I mean, I'm not going as far as like unhooking the leash and like leaving.
Bye. That's
But
so
I'm
funny.
going like, okay, let's turn back. And guess what? Tomorrow, I might not be here for the walk unless you ask me for it.
Yeah.
How's that?
That sounds good. I mean,
Whereas,
listen, it's a work in progress.
before I was like, here's a treat. Do you want to go on a walk? You're
Working
gonna feel
hard.
better after the walk. You're gonna like it outside.
It's exhausting. It's all exhausting.
Psycho.
So, so,
Exhausting.
uh, so instead of like, yes. And as you move through, we're trying to live
Right.
with intention
Yeah.
and move through, and make sure that, listen, if people want to come along, they can come along,
Hmm.
but I do, yeah, I have high expectations, but people would say that I am flexible, but I will keep it moving. I'll stick a move like the best of them, or just not show up. You're like, where's Tanya? I mean, I think that's just my trait. It's like, maybe it's a toxic trait I need to work on, but, I do, it might be.
Just don't mind her
Um,
just sliding little things in there like that. Maybe it's a toxic trait. We'll see. Whatever. Keep it pushing.
let's keep it moving.
We'll
That's
address
next
later.
session. That's
Maybe, but
discussion
probably
next
not.
week. That's discussion next week. Let's not talk about this.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know about you, but I have been feeling like lately, going back to that Ferris wheel, I've been living a little bit on autopilot and moving through and doing a lot. But I think my hope is to move through and live more with intention. And going back to Oprah is allowing things to come to you that are for you, and for things that are not for you, particularly in this time, letting them go.
Mm. Hmm.
That's a life lesson from her. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think that's exactly what she said. I'm kind of paraphrasing there, but how freeing is that to live in that space?
Barely. No, not even that. They know me like circumstantially. And they were asking me like, that's a lot of stuff. Like, how do you, when I was talking to them about what I do, and I said, well, I find that I do things that I, it has to give me purpose. Like it has to align with my values and my purpose.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so sometimes things still do feel like, and that's why I like your Ferris wheel thing, because
That's
sometimes they do feel like they're still moving pretty quickly and you have a lot on your plate. I think which is okay as long as you are pausing to constantly evaluate, why am I doing this? What am I doing? Is it bringing me joy? Is it connecting to a goal that I have,
Yeah.
is it getting me closer to the clearing, right? Like, I think for me, that's the shift I've made and the more intentional choices in what I do,
Yeah.
and how I do them, right? There's places where you know that you're not showing up your best. I think that's
Yeah.
where I've learned.
It's okay. Right. And
It's
all
not
of us.
because of someone else or because of,
No.
like, I was going through this the other day of like, I'm not doing this because this person or this situation or this thing. It's like, I don't show up my best there. That's how I make
Mhm.
decisions now, is where am I going to show up my best? And the
Yeah.
only way you can figure out if you're showing up your best is if you're moving through life with intention and
Mm.
presence, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I can
And
show
I
up a
think
lot of
that,
places.
right. And I think that the need to be perfect in every corner of our lives, that's not sitting and that's not living, because, no one is perfect. Life is full of complicated moments in which we may not be doing the best. One thing I do think I do is I'm quiet about my success.
Except for your
And I
birthday.
Except for my birthday. I think it's a superficial thing. It's birthday. It's like, right? So if it means something to me, if I'm feeling like there's a meaning behind it, I don't necessarily, I'm starting to do it now, but I'm not sure I call out my own success.
Hmm.
We've talked about this. I mean, not everybody needs to be celebrated. For me, like I need to acknowledge when something went well instead of keeping it quiet and only telling a few people because I'm afraid of what people are going to think.
Right.
And that's actually the root cause of why I sometimes, listen, I built something. I built an app and I'm talking to people in Latin America. I should be happy. I should be able to say that without being afraid of what people are going to think about that or judge me on it.
Is that why when you say that second piece, that sounds like why you don't celebrate? Because you're
I
worried
might be
people are going to
judgment.
judge
I feel
you?
like I'm worried about judging. I'm worried about
Not
people
judging, people
judging.
judging you. Oh, people judging you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judging
Or
you
thinking
like,
like who she or like making some kind of judgment on me or thinking that who does she think she is? Like I do feel like I think that.
mm,
Like and maybe there's some imposter thing going on there or me feeling my own self that I don't even deserve whatever. But yeah, I
mm.
think I sit in the judgment, I sit in the worry of the judgment, and I sit in the worry of the deserving.
Phew. Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah. I don't think I'm alone, but yes, that's where I sit.
No,
I sit, yeah.
I'm not saying you're alone.
I don't
I'm
think
not,
I'm alone. Anyone
I'm
out
not saying
there
you're
help
alone.
me? No. Anyone out
I'm
there?
not saying you're alone. God, you're not saying you're alone.
No, no, no. Anyone out
What I'm
there help
saying though
me?
is that's heavy. Worried about other people's expectations, but it really being about you not being deserving that's heavy. That's what we're trying, like, that's the conversation earlier,
Yeah.
like, that's identity, and that's why it's not as easy as, like, you know, if you're not 21 listening to this, but if you were 20 listening to this and
You
you're like,
might.
"Yeah, I
You
don't care what
never
anyone thinks
know.
about me." It's not what do you, it's always gonna be deeper than that, right? It's gonna be why do you
No.
care what people think? It's not just do
Right.
you.
Why do we care? Why am I sitting in that? Why am I feeling I'm not deserving? Why do I feel imposter syndromes? But I think that, and we can unpack it and I can unpack it in a
We don't
therapy
need to unpack it
session.
here, girl.
No, and I
I
hear
do not have enough letters after my name to
you
start.
don't. We might call somebody. We probably need to. But I think it's moments. I don't think I constantly am sitting in this space of like what
Yeah.
have you.
Well, you
But
just
I
said
think
it, the
those
moments of
moments,
achievement. Yeah.
yeah, but those moments are there,
Right,
and
right,
I
right.
feel
Yeah.
it.
You know, call us. Girl, call us if you're out there listening to this going, they need some free therapy.
No, please don't call us. I think that as we grow and evolve, relationships change, and what we expect from relationships change, and you know, I probably lean on my relationships and my best friends and my wife more for maybe those moments of encouragement. Um, Maybe I'd be curious to hear what they said. We'll have to bring Tammy on. Uh, she's probably like,
Be
nobody knows
careful
what
what
she's
you
doing half
wish
the time.
for.
Right. Oh God. Oh God. But now, in this stage of your life, as you enter the mid 40s, I'll say that. Um,
No, girl.
is it it's mid
No, it's
40s.
not mid. This is a age-old argument I have with my dad. It's not mid until you would round up, which is not actually until 5.
Okay,
Well, like,
girl.
if a
Okay, just
number like, when you were in math and as a kid, when you round up, you don't round up at
right.
3.
I'm
You
familiar,
round
but
up
I
at
mean,
5. 5.
okay.
So, early
So,
40s.
okay, in your 40s.
Early. young 40.
early.
Hmm.
How has your relationships changed? And how has those expectations of those relationships changed if they have?
Um, I am I am incredibly fortunate to have a deep bench of very close friends
Mhm.
and who I've had for decades. And that's not
Mhm.
the, norm. That's extraordinary, and I don't try to use that as a measuring stick anymore, um, I did in the past. So, my friendships have changed because I'm doing a lot better at realizing that, not every relationship has to look the same and have the same amount of commitment and deep connectedness and, s I don't have space for all of that. So, I'm okay with that. There was a time in my life where I kept coming into these beautiful relationships, and then so I got
Yeah.
spoiled a little bit and thought that every relationship was supposed to be that, and I'm not
Mm.
in that space anymore.
Yeah. I think, yeah, for me, I'm almost the opposite. There was a time in which, I mean, it was just an abundance of, I wanted people surrounding me, and I had,
Acquaintances type of, like, friends.
yeah, and it was like everyone thought they were probably the best.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was, but at big parties, big things, lots of that. But I think for me, as I've gotten older, and I've just gotten settled, that I think those relationships are important still. I still have them. But I do think my core is the smaller core. Very trusted people that and I think my friendships mean even more now than they did when I was butterflying through the last party. But I think that and I think community and building community and being in and with community, and particularly that people who know me, is even more important than ever for me. And I'm lucky, and so I think I'm super grateful for that community of folks that I have and the ones that I collect. I mean, my best friend says I love to collect new people at new jobs, and I love to collect different. I've have so many different friends that I've met at different points of my life that I still sort of speak with or hang out with today.
I think that what we're saying is it's important to pay attention in your life and
Yes.
pay attention to what is and it changes a lot. I think especially as you're older, like
Yeah.
what's making you feel really great, what's making you feel really
Yeah.
whole, and equally, where are the places where you're showing up that you don't feel like yourself or you don't love who you are in those spaces. And I think that
Yeah.
how do we make space for obviously more of the positive,
Yeah.
but how do we stay um appropriately aware during all times so that you can tell when things aren't going, in the right direction too.
Yeah. And I think you really have to check in with yourself. I think it's okay to sort of sit with those moments of imperfection, moments of intention. I think, as Oprah said, really kind of sit within yourself and really allow whatever to come to you and the blessings, and find that peace within yourself. And the conversation is not about really age.
And coming into yourself in the way that you're no longer trying to please others and you can see the rising for yourself
Yes. So
and
it's about
purposeful
choosing.
living for yourself.
So it's about choosing what matters, who matters, and being in that, and not worrying what everybody thinks about you.
Yeah, right. Uh,
So Jessica, do you have a shine sis shine today?
I do have a shine sis shine.
Who is that?
My shine sis shine is Christine Wells Wansley, who is Nolan Wells' mother. Nurse
Blessings. Yeah.
practitioner, mother, mother with a mother with a focus. And I would say
Mother with a focus.
I can have no understanding of what that woman is going through. But someone who is willing to turn over every single stone and hold every
Yes.
single person accountable for the unfortunate murder of her
Yeah.
son. So shout out to
Yeah.
her for the work that no one wants to do. It is terrible that she has to do it, but she is standing in her truth and her family's truth. So
She is, and she's getting a lot of support, and I appreciate everyone who's donating, supporting, standing with her. I appreciate Nancy Grace for coming out with her red lipstick and red
where has
blonde
she
bob.
been, by the way? Is
She's
she
been in
out of
retirement, but
retirement?
she
Oh, she
came out of
came out.
retirement for Nolan. And Nancy's on the case.
Yeah.
Nancy's being serious, making sure, everybody knows. I also want to give a shine to every woman right now, all of the Black women out there who are trying to, regardless of the world is kind of dark, staying joyful, staying in health, taking care of themselves, Black women, and trying to find jobs. To the sisters who are part of many layoffs that's happened, just stay shining, sisters.
Yes, stay shining. With that, happy
Like
last few weeks of summer. Live it up, people. Last month, I guess, of summer.
last few weeks, girl, what are you talking
Sorry,
about? I feel
6
like
weeks.
we've got a
6 weeks.
long way to go.
5
Labor
weeks.
Day, I mean,
It's not Labor Day.
it's
It's the 21st of September, for the
I
record.
just feel like there's a long way to go for summer. I
Yeah,
feel like I
yeah.
haven't even started. So
Okay. It's been 100
I just opened the pool.
degrees.
I just
Well,
opened the pool and it's 80
okay.
degrees. So subscribe, listen, and
We already
talk to
listened,
yourself.
so like and subscribe and share.
Talk to yourself.
Hey, it's Jessica. Thanks for listening to Girl Call Me. If you have something to add or a story to share, come on over to Instagram or Facebook and join the conversation. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe Girl Call Me. You don't want to miss when we release new episodes. Thanks for listening. Hey, it's Jessica. Thanks for listening to Girl Call Me. If you have something to add or a story to share, come on over to Instagram or Facebook and join the conversation. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe Girl Call Me. You don't want to miss when we release new episodes. Thanks for listening.